problem is, given an integer, return a number of trailing zeros in n factorial. So, as I understand it, is just if my input is just some number, an input integer, output is another integer. Output is another integer. Oh, input is another integer, output another integer. And then in between is just using a pattern, we will get the number of trailing zeros. So using pattern recognitions by looking at a list of factorials, there was a certain pattern of how to get the number of zeros without actually using a factorial, which is takes up a lot of processing power, and we can do this without using any factorials. Zeros. Let's see, for example, input is 6 and number of zeros is 1. If input is, let's say, 11, num of zeros is 2. And that is how it is. That's my input, and that's my output. As for matching, it's quite similar to just finding the finding the last digit. Finding the last non-zero digit of a factorial. Although this was actually finding the factorial, and then in this one we don't even need to find it. But it's similar in the sense that we're getting rid of the zeros. Well, the previous one was getting rid of zeros. This time we're counting how many zeros, and then so the plan is to, well, use that pattern. And to explain that pattern, let's say I have my input is let's choose 27. So 27 factorial. We don't need to calculate the 27 factorial. So what we can do is we'll keep dividing by 5, a floor division of 5. So 27 divided by 5 should equal to 5. And then we have our count at 5. And then 5 divided by, and then we'll continue to keep on dividing by 5 until we get down to 0. So 5 divided by 5, that equals to 1. And then 1 divided by 5, that would equal to 0. And the number of zeros is the sum of all these quotients, the answer. So it'll be sum of zeros is equal to the sum, which is 5 plus 1 plus 0. So number of trailing zeros in 27 factorial is just 6. So this is just a really simple while loop. So while let's say input is greater than 0, and I am doing this in C++. So while the input is greater than 0, we'll keep dividing the input by 5. And then we'll have some kind of count to keep track. The count starts at 0, and we'll keep taking in the quotient, so input after it's been divided by 5, and then we'll just keep track of count. The computer will, not me. But so at the end, I'm just going to print out the count, and that should give me the answer of how many zeros there are. And to implement, even though I'm in Python, I'll use the same pattern of what C++ should be. So what is this? String, and its main is always something that I'll need in variable, so let's call it user input. I'm going to just start with a number, another integer to keep track of another integer variable to keep track of the count. Start that at 0, and then it's just a while loop of right. So while user input is greater than 0, keep dividing by the user input, keep dividing by 5, and the count is just the quotient, the end result of the quotient, and we keep adding on to the count. Then we just see out the count, and that should give us the answer in C++. And there you go.